What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Friday MLB edition of my DFS podcast. We have a bunch of games on the main slate tonight. We got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13 games on the main slate, and then we have 12 games on the main slate. I don't know why they're putting this White Sox and Orioles game back there. It got moved up to an earlier time because of rain. So that game's not on the slate. We have a 4-game after-hours slate, 12-game main slate. A lot of good spots tonight, pretty affordable. I'm going to talk about a few pitchers I like, along with some hitter value plays using FanDuel salaries. I'm doing a free Guru credit code in this video. Drop a like, subscribe. I'll give you that code after the first couple of my plays. We'll get right into things here. We had a great night last night on Thursday. Swept the board on the main slate and the after-hours slate from the Dub Club. For pitcher, I do think the best spend-up option tonight, while Nick Pivetta is in a great spot at home against the Pirates, you could certainly look his way. I favor David Peterson just a little bit more at $9,900. You save $400. They're projected the same amount, but if you want to look at Pivetta, I'd say go for it. Good matchup at home against the Pirates. But I like Peterson. It's an even better matchup at home against the Rockies. The Rockies are by far the worst team in the MLB. The Mets are minus 355. I already did a nice looking prop in my Discord today, under 1.5 earned runs for David Peterson. It wasn't even odds. It's like plus, it's pretty decent plus money for that. And the Rockies are projected to score just 2.6 runs tonight in 9 innings. So I like Peterson at 9,900 a bunch. He's projected for 38 fantasy points. Like I said, the same amount as Nick Pivetta. They're both projected the most on the slate. Tied for the two of them is Brian Wu, also projected for 38 fantasy points against the Twins. So if you have the money to spend up on him, go for it. Those are the 3 guys up top you should be looking at. Peterson is the cheapest of the bunch, and he's the biggest favorite on the slate by far. Minus 355 is absolutely insane. And then we have some middle to low tier value that you could also look at for pitcher. One of them is being Luis Ortiz at home against the Angels. Obviously, the Angels are a pretty bad offense, even worse with Mike Trout on the IL. It's a pretty low over-under of 8. The Guardians are minus 150. So at 8,300, he really just needs anything over 25 fantasy points. You're going to feel good. He's projected for 28 tonight. He's been kind of all over the map this year. 4.7 ERA is nothing to feel good about, but he does have really good upside. He has a game with 46, 38, 39, 50. Just know that if he's not getting strikes and pitching well early, it could go really downhill from there. He's got a -1 in there, a 13, just gave up 3 earned against the Tigers. Just know what you're getting from Luis Ortiz tonight at $8,300. It's a lot of upside, but a pretty, average amount of risk. Again, it is a great spot for him at home, so I don't mind the play at all, especially in tournaments. I don't know based off, my lineups later tonight with bats if I'm going to need to go that cheap, because there's not really many expensive guys for bats that we need to spend up on. But someone to look at, I think he's going to be, up around 10% owned in tournaments. I think the upside is certainly there, so I'd say go for it if you want to pick him and get a cheaper guy. Another cheaper pitcher you could look at is Kyle Harrison of the Giants. He's only 6,800. He started out in the bullpen. He's doing a spot kind of starting role for the Giants with Justin Verlander on the IL. I don't know if it's going to last because Verlander just pitched, I think, like 40 simulated pitches in an exhibition the other day. So Harrison's going to try to impress tonight. He's only 6,800, so we don't need a ton, obviously. Anything over 20 fantasy points, we're going to feel good. He did start against the Nationals last time out. 4 innings, 18 fantasy points. It's not bad, but it's not great. But at sub 7K, we don't need much. You only need, like I said, anything over 20 you'll feel good about. Don't look at the other 4 games this year. Like I said, he's been a bullpen guy. As a starter, he was a starter for them for an extended period of time last year. So it's not like they don't feel comfortable with Kyle Harrison as a starter. We know that he has that sort of comfortability in the past to pitch, 4 to 6 innings in this game. And the matchup's really good against the Marlins. Marlins are a pretty bad hitting team. He should get run support because Cal Quantrill for the Marlins has been terrible. He has a 6 ERA. They're minus 175 favorites. Again, like I said with Luis Ortiz, I don't know if I'm going to have to spend down on pitcher, but if you do want to look cheaper, these are the guys you should be looking at because they're pretty valuable in my opinion. But we're going to go with David Peterson as the guy here. For the infield, Braves, pains me to say it, this is the first year in a while as a Red Sox fan that I had a lot of hope going into the season. The roster looked really good, and they're just kind of, battling that 500 bug and losing close games. It's been a disappointing season. It's still early. I still have hope for them. I do like the roster, but tonight it pains me to be targeting the Braves because we got Lucas Giolito on the mound for the Red Sox. He's got a 5.2 ERA. He's been weird to start. He's had a couple of really good starts and then a couple of awful starts. Great start against the Orioles last time out. 7 innings, 6 Ks, 43, 42. Based on this trend, good start, bad start, good start, bad start, good start, bad start, question mark, against the Braves in Atlanta. As much as I want to root for the Red Sox, you got to keep your bias away from, betting or you'll never be profitable. Braves are minus 166 and Vegas ain't buying Giolito. 9.5 over under. It's 75 degrees out, wind swirling 13 miles an hour. This is the highest over under on the slate. So the Braves come in as the top run projected team. I think they're around like 5.4 runs tonight last time I looked. We got to go against Giolito, and the Braves are cheap. All of them. You could pick anyone you want. Even Acuna's sub 4K. Matt Olson's the first guy in this video, 3,100. Should be batting third or fourth lefty-righty matchup. His average has been struggling, but he's looked better as of late. 3 for his last 9. I'd like to see him get going. There was a nice little 5-game stretch in here not too long ago, a week ago, where he was kind of cooking 4 homers in 5 games. So it's not like he completely lost the bat, but he hasn't been exactly hot to start the year. Good matchup, though, like I said tonight. I think the price is very fair at Olson. A similar guy at the same position you could look at who's going to be pretty popular tonight is Vlad Guerrero. Blue Jays have been hitting the shit out of the ball as of late. He's starting to get hot. He homered last night. Good righty-lefty matchup against Jeffrey Springs of the A's. The Blue Jays are one of the top projected run totals tonight as well. Minus 166 favorites at home. 8.5 over under. So I'm going to be swapping between Matt Olson and Vlad Guerrero, I think, at, low 3,000s tonight. For the infield, speaking of the Blue Jays, Bo Bichette looks good at only 3K. Like I was saying, the Blue Jays are up there for one of the best teams to stack tonight against Jeffrey Springs. He's getting hot. 2 homers in his last 2 games. Had a pinch hit homer 2 games ago in his lone at bat. Last night, a double and a homer. He had a double 3 games ago, so he has, 4 extra base hits in his last 9 at-bats. Starting to get it going. He's going to be leading off. Decent chance at 5 at-bats, only 3K tonight. I like Bo Bichette a lot. If you wanted to spend up, the Mets in a great spot tonight against Kyle Freeland of the Rockies. Like I said, huge favorites. I just think Lindor's a little pricey. If you want to go up there, go for it, but he's in bad form. He hasn't done much as of late. He did have a great game against the Sox about a week ago, but, he just hasn't really shown any upside. For a guy who's 4K, the spot's great tonight. If you want to go up there, go for it. He had 3 strikeouts last game, went 0 for 5 against the White Sox. I might get up there. I don't know if he's a priority for me, though, when I'm spending up on guys tonight. But if you wanted to dive into the Mets with, a lot of salary that you have, I am not saying no to that because it's a great idea. They're minus 350 favorites tonight. For my Guru credit code, go to my website, fd-guru.com. I'm going to have to get my new logo up there. I have a new banner and profile that I paid a guy to do. Do a little the more I look at this site, it's just so outdated. We got to update this a little bit. But go to my shop page. You got to be signed into an account. This is where you buy all your credits. You can buy, as you can see here, MLB, FanDuel, and DraftKings lineups, all main slates, NBA single game slates. When they're on, there's no game tonight. Type in the coupon bar here the date, May, all caps, May 30, MLB, and then 25 for the year. All caps, May 30, MLB 25, apply coupon, and you will get 15 credits right into your balance. And again, just like this video and subscribe, I don't do videos as much anymore, but when I do them, I try to do credit giveaways to get, the most exposure and insights on these videos. For the outfield, we're going back to the Braves. Ronald Acuna, I love him tonight. Going to be leading off against Giolito, most likely getting 5 at-bats. I'll say it again. Braves are the highest projected team on tonight's slate. Love Acuna. He hasn't missed a beat. He was homering in his rehab stints. He started out homering his first at-bat back in the majors. He went back-to-back games with a homer. He was on a 5-game hitting streak before he went 0 for 4 last night against the Phillies. I think they were facing Zach Wheeler, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been cooking right out of the gates. I love him tonight. I think he ends up having a really good chance of being the highest batter fantasy scorer on the night. I'm probably going to bet him to hit a home run in those conditions in Atlanta against Giolito. And again, if the Red Sox, go to the bullpen too, they've been terrible. I hate to bash my Red Sox, but nothing about them currently makes me feel like I shouldn't be picking hitters against them. Acuna looks great at sub 4K tonight. And then our last play, I love that he can play outfield. I don't think he ever should have been in the outfield or should be in the outfield, is Jose Altuve. I've only seen really bad plays when he's in the outfield, but he's an outfielder on FanDuel. You can put him in at second base if you need to. He's getting hot. Really, really slow start to the year. I picked him a few games ago when he got the double dong against the Athletics. He homered again yesterday against the Rays. Starting to get really hot, like I said. 3,100 is a steal of a price. I'd say the current form that Altuve is in is like a $4,100 Altuve. We can get him for $3,100 tonight. He has 5 homers in the last week. Great matchup against Ryan Pepiot of the Rays. He's been bad to start the year. Hold on. Why does FanDuel have him at a... Oh, I guess he does have a 3.5 ERA. Why do I think Pepiot's been way worse this year? Maybe he's been decent. I've picked against him. All right. I mean, he hasn't been awful. Sorry. But he's been, not, exceeding expectations. He is a young guy. He can give it up. Look at the hits allowed really all year long. He averages like 5 to 7 hits a game. He has had a couple of really great starts, but the Astros have been hitting the ball really well. They're minus 160, 8 over under. I don't know if it's a stack kind of night for the Astros, but I do think Altuve as a one and done off of the Astros is a good play just because he's too cheap and he's got a hot bat going. So I like Altuve at 3,100. Pepiot's not as bad as I thought he was, but I'm still not afraid to pick Altuve in his current form against him. That'll do it for this video, guys. Let's have a great Friday night going into the weekend. Let's have a great main slate. Let's have a great after-hour slate. Get those credits. Like this video. Until next time, have a great weekend. I am the FD Guru. Peace.